How I feel right now? 100%. I don't with nobody. And I'm finna make everybody regret playing with me.
And so people saying Memphis rapper Fast Cash C Money just passed away. But the people that don't recognize him, he had the viral song High Off Me that went viral. If I ain't tripping, I think that's his biggest song, but he sadly
dealing with them Texas boys. Them folk got hit up. Them folk got hit up everywhere you go to, like the Fed watching. You know what I'm talking about? He signed that boy right here. That boy ended up going to jail. So they watching that boy so close right now because they you know what I'm talking about? The case is in August. You know what I'm talking about? I talked to Govan. I did an interview with Hernandez Govan, the dude who set the whole supposedly, you know what I'm saying, dog murder.
If I love you, I'm in love with you. Okay, right. How many times we get it, we bump heads.
That's real.
You make me mad. I'm in love with you. Don't down me.
The possibility that C Money was sacrificed has been exposed by Big Boogie. And whom did he hold responsible? In particular, his label boss, YoGotti. Boogie has finished defending YoGotti and CMG, you see. That became evident when he revealed the true cause of C Money's demise and the people who stand to benefit from it. In addition to revealing CMG's inner workings, Boogie sparked a storm that might now destroy everything YoGotti and his label stand for. The implication is clear. Boogie will not stay long enough to learn the specifics of CMG's death. But today, everyone is questioning if C Money's passing was the deepest betrayal within CMG or just another attack in Memphis.
What happened, gang? They just said my got killed.
Big Boogie's social media video, in which he discussed making someone regret playing with him, was the catalyst for the entire situation. Even if the message is one of those very brief ones in which he does not reveal his face, it is clear from his tone that he meant it to be understood.
How I feel right now? 100%. I don't fuck with nobody. And I'm finna make everybody regret playing with me. That's all I gotta say.
Fans were initially perplexed by his remarks, but they were clarified when he posted another mysterious statement on his Instagram story. He wrote, "I'm focusing on my daughter, myself, and my career. I ain't letting nobody get in my way. It's gonna be 2026. I'm changing day by day as a man. People barely ask me about my mentality. I barely even talk to anybody now. I don't care either. Everybody that ever played with me before made me this way. Today I'm focused because I see a bigger picture of my own life. Numb and grinding." He did not have to specifically bring up YoGotti or C Money. Fans saw the shadow. Big Boogie was finished. The message was plain. And they quickly made the connection. People were already suspecting C Money's demise before Boogie's post. It appeared too precise and neat. However, Boogie's admission that he was numb and no longer cared was all the validation many needed. And it was this admission that blew the whole thing apart. It turns out that weeks before he was unalived, C Money knew something was going to happen, and he had no intention of abandoning his fiancé and children. He has been putting a lot of effort toward closing the deal with YoGotti and signing with CMG for that reason. But he accomplished more than that. Sources claim that C Money also purchased a life insurance policy as a contingency measure for his girlfriend and young children. And that action, the fact that his girlfriend Kaya created a GoFundMe to cover his funeral expenses and set aside some cash to care for the children after his passing is stunning, but it is not that astonishing given everything else that is happening with CMG. She included a link to a heartfelt homage she wrote about him on Facebook. She penned, "Courtney taught me so much. So happy we got to love on each other. You took my heart with you for real. All I can do is play your music to hear your voice." And others were astonished by this. Indeed, C Money was still a rising star, but he did not appear to be the kind to abandon his family. Additionally, if the reports are true, he had been planning for his loved one's future in the event of his death. Days after C Money's passing, a leaked document that included some of his contract went public on Reddit. Whether Gotti liked it or not, the man was obviously associated with CMG, which made him a target. But Gotti only gave them quiet. No posts, no honors, no trips, no money, nothing at all. And that quiet, what everyone had been thinking, was essentially confirmed. It is possible that Gotti gave up C Money in order to profit, leaving his family in a bind. For background, the day before he was unalived, C Money had just signed with YoGotti's record company, CMG. He and his buddies were enjoying his new deal when a car drew up and started shooting at them in the video that was made public. Numerous residences had been shot up during the event, according to police accounts. However, only C Money ultimately perished. Coincidence? Or did the actual operation to unalive C Money take place while the firefight served as a distraction? This is the point at which it becomes quite frightening. Before YoGotti mentored him, C Money was already a successful artist. However, the contract was meant to advance his career, but in the end, he came to the realization that he and YoGotti were not in agreement. Gotti, though, he simply pretended that this was not a major matter. None of the warning signs were overlooked by C Money, but when Gotti began acting in a very dubious manner, that is when it really got to him. There is a lot of hostility between Young Dolph's PRE gang and YoGotti's CMG crew. As anyone who knows Memphis street politics is aware, beef is deeply ingrained here. The fact that Hernandez Govan was taken into custody in relation to the murder of Young Dolph made matters worse. It was not too difficult for people to make the link because Govan was close to Big Jook. Therefore, some referred to Big Jook's death in a comparable scenario as karma, while others dubbed it revenge. The artists, for the most part, were content to comply. All of them were winning. Doug, MONEYBAGGYO, BlacYoungsta, and Gorilla to 42. Everyone wanted the roster, and CMG had it. However, following the murder of Young Dolph, things began to fall apart. That mob leader Gotti was once commended for, suddenly it served as a reminder of all the negative aspects of gang activity. CMG artists began to fall off one by one. Gorilla is currently the only one who continues to wear the label. He then began to move in silence, keeping quiet and blogging less. Rumor has it that he was only able to accomplish it by disconnecting everyone who did not join the program. For instance, BlacYoungsta, one of Gotti's most devoted men, is undoubtedly black. The muscle is him. Gotti contacts this man to shake things up. The man who has no qualms about doing things that Gotti would not even consider. And loyalty like this? When Gotti was still involved with the mob, it was to his advantage, and C Money was there to help. The problem is that Gotti had other ideas about him. Initially, he dismissed all the warning signs. However, by the time Gotti began acting suspiciously, he had come to the realization that his association with CMG had been a grave mistake that not only made him a target for Gotti's operations, but it also endangered his life in the jail. In actuality, Gotti was not searching for a new performer. He was searching for a way out, and to him, C Money was just that. Now, the news of Fast Cash C Money's passing devastated the entire CMG crew. However, Boogie seems to be most impacted. From the first post he made about it, it was clear. He penned, C Money Smith. Jesus, brother, I'm hurt to my heart. My favorite rapper from day one. I'm hurt about you, boy. And he had to call off his birthday celebration as a result of that collapse. He revealed this information in a Facebook post, writing, I'm straight in Memphis. Birthday bash canceled. You guys lame forever. After that, Boogie tweeted the sobbing emoji and tagged C Money. He did not have to compose an essay, but the post was brief. Those were sufficient sentences. It might have appeared to onlookers like any other man mourning his friend and co-worker. However, people who are aware of how hot things have been in the rap industry recognized it for what it was, keeping quiet to prevent further violence. In Facebook comment sections, many people expressed their strong opinions that this was the right decision. They posted remarks such as, that was a good idea, bro. You just saved people's lives. He threw a pool party in my city, Atlanta, because he knew if he would have done it in Memphis, it would have gone sour. Do your birthday bash in Atlanta, gang. Fans began to notice a trend of cryptic messages he had been posting since C Money's death. However, following his most recent post, he wrote in one, everybody gonna regret what they did. Watch this, he said. In another, going silent is my final warning. Initially, no one listened. However, now that C Money is no longer there, and YoGotti is acting strangely silent, those remarks seem more like warnings than random posts. Stan G delivered a terrifying message just when you thought it could not get much darker. He bluntly warned BlacYoungsta and the rest of CMG to watch their backs during a no-jumper interview because YoGotti does not mind interrupting people, he claims, from life itself, not simply the title.
Dealing with them Texas boys, them folk got hit up. Them folk got hit up everywhere you go to, like the Fed watching. You know what I'm talking about? He signed that boy right here. That boy ended up going to jail. So they watching that boy so close right now because they you know what I'm talking about? The case is in August. You know what I'm talking about? I talked to Govan. I did an interview with Hernandez Govan, the dude who set the whole supposedly, you know what I'm saying, dog murder.
It was a different warning, particularly considering that incident occurred while the entire crew was still in mourning for C Money. All eyes suddenly turned to Boogie, the only person brave enough to keep making insinuations and demanding clarifications. Here's the problem though. Why is Boogie safe if Gotti was actually involved in C Money's demise? Right now, his quiet is not a shield. There is a countdown. And the most terrifying aspect? Big Boogie may be heading straight into the same trap that C Money never managed to escape if Gotti is already searching for his next fall guy. Therefore, whether C Money was sacrificed is no longer the question. Whether Boogie just made himself the next target is the question.